I'm thinking of a master plan. Nah, I'm lying. Shawty on my mind. Okay, all right. I know some of y'all probably thought of like 3 other songs that dealt with that lyric. Anyway. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Unlimited Podcast, where we help you maximize your creativity. I'm Izzy Lemons. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Unlimited Podcast. Like I said, where we help you maximize your creativity. Look, I kind of feel like I missed y'all, like a lot. It feels like it's been so long, but I know that it hasn't. You ever feel like that? Okay, maybe it's just me, whatever. I love y'all. I miss y'all. But look, if it's your first time tuning in, I want to say welcome to the Unlimited family. Look, I promise you're going to leave here with some wisdom for your creative journey. It's not going to feel like a waste of time. You're going to enjoy this podcast episode today. We've got a special one for you, actually. But if it's not your first time, I want to say welcome back. And I appreciate all the support, your consistency. It means the world to us here at Unlimited Artistry. It helps us push forward and closer to the community of creatives that we're called to reach. So thank you so much for coming back and tuning back in. Look, as a brief introduction for all you first timers, my name is Izzy Lemons, and I've been a creative for over 14 years. But I reached a point in my life where everything came crashing down because I didn't know who I was or what I was created to do. But now I run this thing called Unlimited Artistry, where we help you maximize your creativity by helping you understand your purpose and then helping you uncover your creative identity and then uncapping your creative potential. We do all of this to lead to a state of unlimited artistry, you get it, which is using our creative gifts in the way that they were intended. So look, if you're ready to embark on that journey of maximizing your creative potential, stay tuned. Look, y'all, we have a super special episode just for you today. But before we get into it, look, I have to tell y'all about all the things that are available to you that are here to help you maximize your creative potential. The first thing is the Creative Collective. What is the Creative Collective? Well, it's a community forum where creatives can engage in conversation on creativity and purpose regarding their creative gifts. It's like the perfect place to share experiences, ask questions, and talk about the things that affect you as a creative. But most importantly, it's community. On this journey to maximizing your creativity, you're going to want to be surrounded by other people who are on the same journey that you can relate with and talk with and ask questions and all that good stuff. Y'all, walking on this journey sucks when you're by yourself. I'm just being honest. Excuse my French, but it's horrible when you're by yourself, okay? This is why we've created this virtual community for you to be a part of. Look, I want you to join the conversation today. Don't miss your opportunity for a community. You can visit the website or just click the link in the description of this episode. Join the conversation today. Look, another key to maximizing your creative potential is your organization. I hear the trope of the disorganized, cluttered, late, just all over the place creative all too often. And if I'm honest, it irritates me on behalf of all of us, all right? But the sad thing is, I know that sometimes it's true. That is why on December 30th, Unlimited Artistry will be releasing our very first video course called The Organized Creative. In this video course, I'll be sharing the tools, tips, and strategies that I use on a day-to-day basis to keep my life, pretty organized. In this course, I'll be giving you a few tools that can apply not just to your creative life, but to your day-to-day life. And that's like the most important part. During this course, we'll be talking about using your calendar, using different task managers, and even some basic forms of automation that you can use on a day-to-day basis. Look, if you want to maximize your creative potential, you're going to have to bring a little bit more organization into your life. Don't miss out on this video course. Look, just in case you need a little bit more of an incentive, Creative Collective members will get an exclusive discount for the first week, okay? Go join the conversation. Stay tuned. Stay locked in. Visit the website. Make sure you're tuned in on December 30th because that is when the video course releases, and that is when you can take another step toward maximizing your creative potential. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. And check this out, y'all. Here's another exciting thing that's happening on December 30th. Signups for guitar lessons for 2023 here at Unlimited Artistry will officially be opened on that day. This is super exciting because it's for beginner musicians and experienced musicians. Look, no matter where you are on your guitar journey, all are welcome to sign up, but there are limited slots available, so you're going to want to move fast on December 30th, okay? In these lessons, I'll be sharing everything that I know about tone, technique, and even how I learn and listen to music. Look, I'm offering a new perspective on how to use your strongest tool, which is your ear, as a guitarist. Look, you're not going to want to miss this. If you want to learn something new this coming year, if you were gifted a guitar or just have one laying around and you want to put it to use, this is the perfect time. This is your sign. Make sure you sign up for a slot for guitar lessons starting January 2023. The signups open December 30th. Don't miss it. Well, look, if you know, you know. It is time for an unlimited production. Let's go. Look, if you know Unlimited Artistry, you know that music production is a major part of who we are. And we've had the opportunity to be a part of many different great works and work with many different great artists as well. We love to share the stories behind those works and behind working with those artists to also share how we're staying creative. Most importantly though, we do this for educational purposes. So if you have any questions about anything that we talk about during this segment, feel free to connect with me personally through the Creative Collective. This week's Unlimited production is Squillium by AsaTheProdigy.
Been me from the jump, I do what I want. I came here to get it, I do this for fun. The boy too intelligent, but the flow dumb. They counted me out, but came out with the dub. It's they saying hello, fire homegirl Geneva. I came a long way from sitting in the bleachers. Now I'm on the field, baby, nice to meet you. My hustle too different, we two different creatures. Show love when they did it, you would've been dissing. They say they gon' ride when it's time, they gon' miss it. I'm going for 5 out of 5, it's a given. My time gonna ride on the ride that be hitting. Just look at the digits, look what I've been gifted with. Who is you kidding with? Been an instrumentalist, I've been killing it. Way before boys innocence, I was getting it. Did it with limitless diligence. Sentences Michelin, I'm on a roll. My whole family won, make them go humming, I Squillium fancy son, Am I TikTok yet? Wait, let me try.
For this record, Unlimited Artistry provided the vocal recording, mixing, and mastering, while Lo-Fi, a production group, provided the track. Y'all, I'm a really huge fan of great production for rap and hip hop and other urban styles and music. Man, AsaTheProdigy is one of my favorite rappers of this generation. And I know that's a strong statement, but I truly mean it. The way that he executes his bars, the way that he writes, he just has a very specific attack, the way that he executes what he's written. And I'm a huge fan of it. He's also from the Virginia area. Y'all know, maybe you don't know. If you know, you know. There is something in the water in Virginia. And that is why Pharrell came up with this Something in the Water festival. Is it a festival? I can't remember. It's something in the water, like the event. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Look it up. But look, some of the greatest influences when it comes to sounds have come out of the Virginia area. I'll just name 3 off the top. Timbaland, Missy Elliott, and Pharrell. That's a pretty high bar, but AsaTheProdigy proves that that is still a relevant thing in Virginia. I mean, let's also not forget Pusha T, the Clips, they're from Virginia. Teddy Riley even, who actually pushed Pharrell in Virginia. But anyway, this record is one of my favorite records that we've worked on together just because of that attack, the way that he executes the bars that he writes. He just has a certain tone to his voice that I can truly appreciate. A fun fact about this record, which actually leans a little bit more toward the mixing of it, there's a lot of compression going on, but it kind of squeezes the goodness out of the vocal track. I love recording vocals. Like I don't know why I enjoy it so much, but there's a level of clarity that comes through just the right amount of compression, excuse me. And I think that this record accomplishes that pretty well. Another fun fact about this record is that, typically while you're recording long, just run-on pieces like this, there's a lot of stopping and cutting and editing. But for this record, all of the breaths that you hear are where they actually happened. I'm telling y'all, Asa is a monster in the studio. Like, he works at his craft like athletes work at their sport. Like, it's a whole nother level. And it's very motivational if you ever get a chance to see it. But AsaTheProdigy is one of my favorite rappers of this generation, and I appreciate all that he adds to music. So if you love what you're hearing and would love for Unlimited Artistry to help you bring your musical visions to life, you can visit the website and contact us and get started as soon as today. We offer full music production, mixing, mastering, and guitar tracking. Visit the website, contact us, send us an email, get started as soon as today. I'm thinking of a master plan. Nah, I'm lying. Shawty on my mind. Okay, all right. I know some of y'all probably thought of like 3 other songs that dealt with that lyric. Anyway, y'all, today we're finishing up a 2-part series where we're talking about vision and planning. So today's topic is planning for our vision. Last episode, we talked about vision, the importance of vision. As creatives, vision is our superpower. We often cannot do anything. We cannot create if we don't have a vision. What is vision? Well, it's a desired end result that we can picture in our minds that influences the choices and decisions that we make to come up with a full, realized product or ending. But the most important thing about vision is that in order to bring it to life, there needs to be a plan. So today I'm sharing 3 thoughts on planning when it comes to vision. Look, are y'all ready? Because I'm ready. Look, I got my notes and everything right here. Let's get into it. The first thought about vision is that if you have a vision, you need a plan. Look, I know that we've all heard the phrase before, failure to plan is planning to fail. Every time I say that quote, I want to say failure to plan is plan-ure to fail, but that's not how English works. Sorry. But look, we can't get anywhere if we don't track out the journey that we're supposed to be taking. Let's think about it in context, even taking an example from the last episode. When a city is being built, it doesn't just raise up from the ground. Like, there's a plan that's walked out. There's budgets that need to be accounted for. There are contractors that need to be scheduled in order to work toward and do the work that it takes to build up this city, to develop these buildings, to build bridges, like all those different things, to get the sewage correct. Like, it takes so much than just, we want a city. Boom, there it is. There is no osmosis involved with vision. It doesn't just happen. Look, I have faith in Jesus Christ, and that faith affects everything that I do. So I love to read the Bible and figure out how it applies to my life. So when you're listening, y'all know I'll pull out my Bible sometimes. So we're going to look at Proverbs 16, verse 9. This is one of my favorite verses because it influences how I plan out my days, which is something that I talk about in the Organized Creative video course. Make sure you go check it out. So Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9 says, "In his heart, a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps." Y'all, vision and steps or planning go hand in hand. One can't exist without the other. If you have a vision for a specific portrait you want to take, or if I have a vision for a musical idea, it's not just going to happen if I just think about it. If I think hard enough, like, that's not how things work. My wife and I recently watched King Richard, and I don't know if you've seen the movie yet. It's about the Williams sisters and how they dominated tennis, but it's like their beginning years. Richard Williams had a very specific plan for his daughters, right? And I don't know if you've noticed, the movie's based on a true story, Venus and Serena Williams. They've dominated in tennis based on his plan. The entire movie is spent showing how people have not believed in his plan and didn't really see how his plan was going to cause their vision to come forward. There were even moments in the movie where the viewers probably also thought, like, why is he doing that? That's stupid. Like, you're going to ruin it. Like, go with the people that, you know, have done this, have experienced this. But at the very end of the movie, in the last words, like right before the credits, they say that almost every piece of Richard's plan came true. Y'all, this should be super encouraging, because when we have a vision, it should come with a plan that we should be disciplined with sticking to. I'll tell you, there are very few feelings that beat having a plan and setting that plan up and executing it and it working almost perfectly. Like, that's a great feeling. When we can target a vision and accurately plan out the steps that it takes to get there, that's a pretty big win. Look, I know oftentimes as creatives, we get these ideas and they're often huge. You know, they take some pretty large steps, or at least a few tedious things to get to the vision that we have in our hearts. But sometimes we get a little distracted. We want to do everything. We start going crazy with the actions that we're taking, but we often don't efficiently plan how to actually reach the goal. This is a big reason as to why I wanted to create the Organized Creative video course, because it's important that as we set these goals, that we're organized in the way that we actually accomplish them. I want you to efficiently execute these different steps and chart out a plan so that you can see the vision that's in your heart become reality. We can't just go willy-nilly with whatever ideas pop up in our minds and just hope that the vision will just come to pass one day. Like, we have to be more organized. We have to be more intentional about it. Look, I have an unpopular opinion here. Most people like to say let's take it day by day. I think that's a load of bull. Excuse my French, but I think that's crap. I think it's crap. Look, as creatives, sometimes taking things day by day can do more damage to us. Yo, if I have a vision in my heart that I want to see come to pass, and I just do whatever I think works that day and do that every single day, I'm not going to reach that goal. Why? Because as creatives, our minds are all over the place, moving a mile a minute. We like to try to put our focus in a lot of different areas. Look, if you disagree, I got one word for you.
Cap.
Look, all jokes aside, and rest in peace to Takeoff, the thing that I'm trying to stress to you is that it's important that we're intentional about our steps, about the plan that it takes to get to the vision that's in our hearts. Look, I told y'all why I use the Bible. I'm gonna pull it out again. But did you realize that even God has plans? Let me take you there. It's Jeremiah 29, verse 11. The verse reads, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." Y'all, God has created a plan for every single one of us. And I believe that he's placed it in our hearts. That's why we have these strong desires for these visions that just seemingly come out of nowhere. Those visions are gifts. And if we want to properly steward and manage those gifts, we need a plan. So thought number one about plans: if you have a vision, you need a plan. Thought number two, sometimes the plan changes. Look, let me tell y'all how we spent Thanksgiving this year. So we traveled to Georgia to visit my family. And on the way there, you put the destination in the GPS. And on the way there, our route changed like at least 10 times. Each time to save us a little bit more time, maybe 2 minutes here, 10 minutes there, an hour there. Like, it changes. Sometimes the route changes, but the entire reason why it changes is for the benefit of the driver, to get you there faster or with less barriers. When those routes changed, the best thing that we could do was be resilient and follow wherever the directions we're telling us to go. Look, I want you to focus in on this. When we're driving and the route changes, the best thing that we can do is just be resilient toward the changes of the route. When we try to hold on to the original directions, the original steps that it took to get to that destination, and the route has changed, it actually puts us behind on time, and we come across many more barriers than we should have in the first place. What's one thing that everybody wants to avoid on a road trip? Traffic, especially that red zone kind of traffic. Like, it just puts you back like a bunch of time. Look, sometimes the plans you made that it takes to get to that vision that was in your heart, sometimes those plans change. And sometimes those plans change to avoid barriers, tension, or even distraction. But most importantly, those plans will often change because we don't want to waste time. Let's be real. I'm a human. I get it wrong sometimes, right? I'm sure you can say the same. But sometimes when it comes to planning things out, things change. We're dealing with human beings on a daily basis. Things change. Everything in every step won't work out perfectly. But as long as we're equipped to pivot and make the change so that we can stay on track, we're going to see that vision come to pass in a good amount of time. Yo, let me tell you a little bit about how I almost ruined Thanksgiving. So we spent 12 hours on the road, and then once we got there, we stayed in a hotel that night. We were there for 8 hours. Like, we literally slept and woke up, and I wasn't feeling my best. So before we went and got around my family, I was like, let me just go make sure. Let me go get tested, at least, for flu, COVID, all that kind of stuff, because we don't want to spread disease. Y'all, we got there and I tested positive for COVID. Look, let me be real. When the doctor came in, he didn't shake my hand. I knew something was wrong. I was like, okay, just give me the news. But y'all, this was a super hard left turn. So we took the day and drove right back another 12 hours on the road. Y'all get this. Sometimes a reroute or a change in plans can feel extremely inconvenient, right? But it's actually a little bit more convenient than what you're changing plans to avoid. I don't even want to imagine what could have happened if I didn't go get tested and still ended up around my grandparents. Both of them would have gotten sick. Thankfully, we were able to switch our plans around and pivot to be able to avoid something that was way more inconvenient. I'm a stubborn creative. Would you consider yourself a stubborn creative? Sometimes I know that during processes and when I'm trying to create something, I want to do it a specific way, but I often keep bumping into the same wall. There's something blocking me from doing it that way. But for some reason, because I'm a hard-headed, stubborn creative, I keep trying to push against it. In that case, when I don't make that pivot, when I'm not okay with the plan changing, I'm wasting time and getting closer and closer to deadlines, getting closer to creative frustration. Like, it's not worth it. Eventually, I switch up my plan and I go to something that works. Look, y'all, don't be like me. Don't be a stubborn creative. Just be okay when the plan changes, all right? So, thought number 2 about plans. Sometimes the plan changes. Actually, there's one last verse that I want to refer to. It's Proverbs 19, verse 21. The verse reads, "Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails." Y'all, no matter what plans we attempt to make, we don't get it right all the time. But when it does change, maybe it's better to go with it because that's the way that it's supposed to work out. So, thought number 2, sometimes the plan changes. My third and final thought on plans is that the plan should be written. Look, I'm not one of those sticklers that's like, you got to physically write it down or you got to type it on your computer or whatever. Like, whatever you have available to you. The most important thing is that you get that plan down. One concept that we talk about in the Organized Creative Video course is the importance of storing the ideas and being able to take them from heart to hand. When we write out the steps that it takes to get to that vision, we're just creating a more realized version of that vision. It's just becoming more and more real every time we write something down. And look, check this out. When you write down the steps or the plans that it takes to get to that vision, you're creating measurable, visible, trackable steps that you can track your progress on. Look, if you've ever heard of MapQuest, I barely know anything about it, but I hear, all the older people talk about using it. But look, MapQuest was a written down list of steps to get from one place to another. Y'all, this is super important. If this was a photo, I would need you to zoom in on it. You will never follow the steps if they only exist in your head. You got to write them down. You got to get them somewhere. Look, when it comes to routes, I know some people may be better than others at remembering the exact turns and things that you need to make and when and specific landmarks, all that good stuff. God bless you if that's you. But for us normal people, we're human beings. We're not hard drives. We should not depend on our minds to just store these important things. We have to have them written down somewhere. When they're written down, when they're stored, they can be referenced. The same when it comes to our ideas. We have to store them and keep them somewhere. Look, not writing down the plan for your vision is like going to IKEA and buying like a couch and not having the directions. It's like in one hand, you have, the end result, the picture of what you want. You have all the pieces in the box, like they're all there, but you don't have the thing that tells you how to actually put those things together and create the couch. The same thing applies to like Legos, right? A kid can look at the picture and put it together based on the picture, but it will never be exactly what the manufacturer intended and how it was intended to be set up. All in all, just like the vision has to be written down, the plan has to be written down as well. One thing that I like to do to kind of visualize the vision and the plan that comes with it, and this is something that we talk about in the video course that's coming on December 30th, I like to use a task manager. Using a task manager helps me kind of build one block for what the vision that I want to accomplish is, and then go beneath it and create the little steps and the plan that it takes to actually get there and put my goals in and all the little details and checklists and all that good stuff. Like, that's what helps me be able to accomplish the goals and the visions that have been placed in my heart. I'm literally using that to put the video course together. It's just another way to write down and be able to reference the plan for that vision. Even when it comes to business, you will never find a successful business that's not writing down their strategic plan for the quarter or for the year or for the next 3 years. You have to write these things down so that they can be referenced consistently and actually measure how on track you are. We're going to go back to a verse that we referenced in the previous episode, which is Habakkuk 2, verse 2. This verse reads, "Then the Lord replied, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets so that a herald may run with it." We're actually going to keep reading into verse 3. "For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." Another important part about writing down the plan and the vision is so that others can help us execute it, even to help ourselves execute it. Apparently, it's a biblical principle. Look, like we talked about in the last episode, there are very few visions that can be accomplished just by yourself or even just only with you in mind. There are other people that are involved. So it's important that even as our plans change, that we're continually marking down these changes and marking down the plans so that we can stay on track and even communicate it to others when necessary. Look, y'all, again, vision and plans go hand in hand. Vision and plans go hand in hand. I didn't plan that. That was kind of crazy. That was cool. It was a song idea. Boom. No, but for real, vision and plans go hand in hand, y'all. We need to have a plan set up so that we can accomplish the visions that are in our hearts. So I got a question for you. What's a vision that you have that you haven't written out the plan for? I would love for you to jump into the Creative Collective and share within the community. And let's talk about it. Look, just in case you forgot, the Creative Collective is a community forum where creatives can engage in conversation on creativity and their purpose regarding their creative gifts. It's like the perfect place to ask questions, share experiences, and talk about the things that affect you as a creative. This is one of those things that affects us as creatives. So I would love for you to join the conversation and talk about a vision that you haven't set up the plan for yet. I'm telling you, when you link up with other creatives who are on the same journey of trying to maximize their creative potential, you're going to be unstoppable. I don't want you to miss out on your opportunity for community. I also don't want you to miss out on the video course release that's happening on December 30th. I've been talking about it all episode. I don't know if you can tell. I'm super excited. The Organized Creative video course is coming on December 30th. Make sure you're staying tuned. If you're in the Creative Collective, you get an exclusive discount for a limited amount of time. So don't miss it. Check it out. It's going to help you get closer to your vision and closer to your goals. And lastly, on December 30th, the signups for guitar lessons are opening up for 2023, but there are limited slots available. Make sure that you're staying tuned and that you sign up if you're interested. Y'all, at Unlimited Artistry, one of our biggest passions is to connect you to the purpose that's attached to your creative gifts. So we want to help you do that in any way that we possibly can. So to stay tuned, stay locked in to everything Unlimited Artistry, you can follow us on Instagram at Unlimited Artistry. You can follow me on Instagram at Izzy_Lemons. You can follow us on TikTok at Unlimited Artistry. And you can visit the website UNLMTDartistry.com. Again, that's UNLMTDartistry.com. What? UNLMTDartistry.com. What? Thinking of a master plan. Nah, I'm lying. Shawty on my mind. Y'all, I love that. I love that bar. Lil Wayne is like one of the greatest. If you don't agree, we can argue about it in the Creative Collective. We can talk about it later. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in and putting up with me and all my jokes. I will see you next time. This has been the Unlimited Podcast. We got some great stuff coming for you. So just stay tuned. Stay locked in. I will see you next time.